So in the last lesson, we studied how to generate an array filled with random numbers and return it from a method. So in the last class, we created a method which generates a random number, stores it inside an array and return it. In this lesson, I am going to teach you how to create a method which returns an array filled with even numbers. So let's get started with this. Public static. So obviously the return type is an array because we are going to return the series of numbers, that is the even numbers between from and to. Generate, let's say, even numbers. Now int from, int to. So I should start a loop which starts from int I equal to from int I less than or equal to 2 and I plus plus. Then what I should check in the first iteration what is the value of I. It will be from. Let's assume we call this method here for testing purpose. We'll say 10 comma 20. Assume like this. So the from value will be 10, 2 value will be 20. So in the first iteration I equal to from, so I value will be 10. I value will be 10. Now we have to check if I, that is 10 mod 2, if it is equal to 0. 10 mod 2 if it is equal to 0. In fact, why I should do that when I already written the code for that? Remember in my calculator class, I don't have this code here. Suppose if I had a method called easy one, then I would simply call that method directly. So let me keep this logic here. If I mod 2 if it is equal to 0, then what I want to do, I want to store it in an array. So first I have to create an array here. Int array equal to new int. What should be the size? So between from and to, if we take 10 to 20, if we take in that other our specific example, if it is if the user sent as 10 to from and to as 20 for 2, in that case from 10 to 20, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20, total 16 even numbers are there. Then the size, 16, total 6 even numbers are there. So from 10 to 20, there are total 6 even numbers are there, isn't it? 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, total 6 even numbers. So size should be 6, but this becomes specific to that. User can keep sending different value, 100, 200, things like that. I want this to be generic. So I'll come up with a formula. What is the formula? I will say 20 minus 10, that is 2 minus from, like this. Then I'll say divided by 2 plus 1. Makes sense? 20 minus 10, 5. 20 minus 10, 10 divided by 2, 5 plus 1. Makes sense? So now where I should say array of, should I say I? What do you think? Most of you might be thinking that I should say array of I because same thing what we have done here. Now understand this one. What is the value of I? Value of I in the first iteration is 10. So do you want to say array of 10 equal to 10? That's wrong, isn't it? We want to start the array from 0. So we need another variable to keep the index. So I'll say int index equal to 0 and I'll say index plus plus. Or if you get confused why I'm saying plus plus, you can simply say index equal to I value. I is the one which you are going to add here. So if I say 10, the whole array gets filled with 10. Now here I'll say index plus plus. To iterate through, in the first iteration I value is 10. Since it is even number, array of index, that is 0, equal to 10. So now array of 0 contains 10. We comment this is only for an illustration purpose. Array of 0 contains 10 in the first iteration. In the second iteration I value is 11. So it will never come inside if block. Then in the third iteration I value will be 12. So 12 mod 2 is equal to 0. Yes, it is equal to 0. Now I value is 12. So 12 gets stored into index. We remember index value we have changed. So index value becomes 1. So array of 1 contains 12. Array of 0 contains 10. Array of 1 contains 12. Array of 2 will have 14. Like that, the things will go on. When this loop is completed executing, the even numbers between even numbers from to 2 is stored in array. So what do? We return. So what do? We return. So what we return array. Now if I go here and whatever the thing which is coming out, let's call it as even array for the what? A convention purpose to keep the meaningful name. I will compile and execute this. So between from 10 to 20, what are the even numbers are there? That even numbers is stored inside an array that has been written from this method, which is stored in an array, and I am sending it as an input to another method called print array. So same way I would expect you to go ahead and write more programs like generating the prime numbers, Fibonacci series, and so on.